Good morning, writers. It's that time of year again. Today, you will hear from four of your peers who have been selected as this year's Rose Festival Court finalists. After hearing their speeches, your teacher will provide you with a link so you can vote for who you believe should represent Roosevelt as the 2021 Rose Festival Court Princess. Whoever wins will earn not only just the title, but also a $3,500 scholarship, a mentorship, and the opportunity to meet with leaders across the state. So good luck to each of our candidates, Zemzem Hussein, Rose Davies, Audrey Nelson, and Alexia Valdez.
The Rose Festival has always been known for bringing the community of Portlanders together. With that being said, every year, thousands of people show up and show out for the Rose Festival events. From the Grand Floor Parade to the Junior Parade, the concerts and the city fairs. The Rose Festival has always spread positivity and brings joy within kids and families. From children drawing on the streets of parades to families waving to the floats, every year the Rose Festival is what people look forward to in the community. Excited to celebrate and to show up for each other, to sing, to dance, to celebrate a diverse community. The unity of Rose Festival brings every year has influenced the community to always be there for one another, and not only in times to bring joy and to celebrate togetherness, but in times of uncertainty and divide. It's no lie that the pandemic has affected all of us and broke the rhythm of celebration and a sense of togetherness. From the time spent away from our friends, families, and colleagues, the lives of Portlanders affected mentally, and the dreadful feelings and hopelessness of are we ever going to get back to a normal life? The feeling of no light at the end of the tunnel. But I believe that the Rose Festival has always proven that there's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. The hope the Rose Festival brings out, even through the history of unprecedented times, has kept us united as a community. From the flooding of Vanport to the history of times where our community was at its lowest point, the Rose Festival has always been one of Portland's sources of hope, togetherness, and happiness. The resilience of Portlanders throughout the years has inspired us to celebrate diversity and unity by spreading positivity. As the city reopens, the Rose Festival can reassure Portlanders that they are not alone, that we as a whole community can and will get through rough times together with resilience. We need to hold each other, acknowledge the lives lost, affected during this pandemic, by showing love like never before. That compassion inspires hope and spreads positivity. Another way the Rose Festival can bring hope is to show the community appreciation, from the frontline workers keeping this community stable and the community members that push each other through this time of uncertainty. We must show them good spirits and engrain an image of that celebration that we're going to look forward to. That optimism will get them excited to celebrate togetherness and that joy the Rose Festival brings. As we begin the healing process together, we must begin with voices of compassion, hearts full of love, and acts of kindness. Though we are not together at this moment, it's about our community. It's about bringing people in to celebrate diversity and unity. It's about creativity and service to one another. It's about making the community in which we live in rejoice in happiness and joy as we come to reopen. Thank you.
How can the Rose Festival bring hope to the community as the world reopens? Well, it already has. The first example of this shows up in this year's Rose of the Year, which is aptly named the Burst of Hope. However, the rose's name is not the only piece of it that brings hope. This particular rose is a mix of speckled yellow and light pink, and whether it was intentional or not, those colors are a perfect representation of things that have brought the community hope. Let's start with the yellow in the flower. Yellow roses can mean friendship, joy, and caring. Our friendships have given us hope through the pandemic, and we all hope to be able to hug our friends once the virus is gone. We've each had some joyful moments over the past year as well. I, for instance, celebrated my 18th birthday with my twin brother. We have also shown each other how much we care for our fellow man through social distancing and wearing a mask to keep our community safe. Light pink roses can mean gentleness and happiness. We all want the world to treat us just a little gentler after the pandemic is over. That is another thing we hope for. The virus has doled out an abundance of tragedy and sadness, so naturally, we hope to have happiness in our future. Friendship, joy, caring, gentleness, and happiness. These are things that, in one way or another, have something to do with hope. And they are represented on this year's Rose Festival Rose of the Year. That is one way so far that the Rose Festival has already begun to bring us hope. The Rose Festival will continue to bring hope to Portland because it will give us a sense of normalcy again. Since the pandemic began, our definition of a normal day has changed drastically. So many events and experiences have been delayed and canceled due to the virus. We have become used to having little to look forward to. The Rose Festival will give us hope simply by giving us something to look forward to. I personally have been living the same day over and over again due to the virus. But the Rose Festival gave me hope when it gave me the opportunity to run for Rose Princess. The Rose Festival will do this for other Portlanders too. Whether it be the Starlight Parade, the City Fair, or Fleet Week, the festival will give us hope that the monotony will end and that someday we will go back to normal. The last way that the festival will bring us hope is by bringing together our communities. On a small scale, events like the St. John's Parade have always brought communities together by celebrating the beauty and people in particular neighborhoods. On a larger scale, the Rose Festival brings together all of Portland to celebrate the fact that we are the city of roses. The Rose Festival has always brought hope to the community. If this year the Rose Festival is just how it usually is, it will bring more hope than ever before. Thank you.
The Portland Rose Festival can bring hope to our community as the world begins to reopen, blossoming and solidifying its great presence in our city and beyond. People of all ages look forward to these events every year, and it's so great we're able to have little bits and pieces like the Rose Court to look forward to get excited about, and have that taste of community engagement we've all missed this past year. The Rose Festival at its core is something that brings a city together, and those vibrant, jam-packed with people events will certainly be missed. But with the efforts of bringing some of the festival to life this year is just what we all needed. We can realize that we're not at a total loss, and not everything we have been stripped away from us during these times. That a light of hope shines through as we still see the magic of the Rose Festival, so integral to the heart of Portland, still lives on. Day-to-day life in the city has been stripped away, and many of us have gone through very tough times, just looking for a smile, a distraction. But now there's new hope. Hope brought to us by the festival doing all they can to bring us those smiles in times where they can be so rare. Hope that despite the changes and the obstacles, we are still able to make it happen. We can turn on our TVs or our computers and follow along this journey by each other's side. The festival is here to bring you that excitement and anticipation, making Rose City feel celebration, bring us closer together. The Rose Court itself, continuing on this year, is so incredibly important to high school students in our city. It gives us a sense of school pride and kindness towards those who participate. Even if it's not the same experience as previous years, it is still a very special process to both engage in and participate in, making our school year feel much more normal in our virtual learning environment. Even without the crowds and all the in-person experiences, this program is so important to the community. With the community service work that the princesses do, to the sense of unity it brings our schools and our city. That connection and that unity between participating schools has always been a very heartwarming thing to see. And the combined experiences of quarantine between the girls this year makes the love feel even stronger. I am personally so excited to see what the Rose Festival has in store this year, bringing joy and hope to our community as the world begins to reopen. We will see the vibrancy the festival has to offer no matter how it is presented this year, and bring us a connection between Portland no matter the circumstances. The festival fills our hearts and our minds with the vibrancy it never ceases to share, marking the opening up of our city's future after this trying year, and our city of roses begins to bloom once again. Thank you.
As the world reopens, the first thing that comes to mind is, how are we going to recreate all those joyous community memories that were once shared by the entire city of Portland? I feel that I can speak for many when I say that it has been incredibly difficult not being able to see friends and even family. But the best that we can do right now is be as positive and as encouraging as we can towards each other. And hopefully one day we will all be able to come together and celebrate our favorite Rose Festival events. However, as of now and for the near future, with our newly improved social media skills, the Rose Festival could still be able to have its uplifting presence that brings smiles and laughs to all. This can be through various social media platforms, or socially distant outdoor events. For example, the Rose Festival can hold nature walks, have online musical performances, and host informational live streams about our city and its history. There are many things that we can do to still keep our city safe and remain intact as a community. Moreover, everyone has said that during these times we are to remain hopeful, but with hopefulness comes a waiting for something that brings happiness, something that excites us, and I feel that the Rose Festival can be that for us. Remembering all the times that we would walk through the city fair, or that we would watch the parades with our neighbors, sharing laughs and creating memories, that can gear us away from focusing on the tiredness or boredom that we may feel as we are indoors, and can gear us to look toward all the new beginnings that are yet to come. So, as more and more cities start opening up, I hold much faith that our city of Portland will once again be able to come together and celebrate our beautiful city of roses. Thank you.
All right, thanks for watching. And now's the time to vote using the link that your teacher will provide to you right now.